Hi, I'm Sally Thibault, and welcome to this very special birthday edition of the Stronger, Leaner, Lighter show. I'm going to be sharing with you lots of tips, lots of strategies, so buckle in and let's get going. Well, it always helps if one has one's microphone plugged in. Hello and welcome to the Stronger, Leaner, Lighter birthday edition, my birthday edition. Yes, I hit the big 6'5" tomorrow. Well, lordy Lord, who came up with that idea? It's really a hard number to say. But isn't it interesting? I never ever thought that this is what it would look like. I had a preconceived notion in my mind of what 65 would look like, and it wasn't this. And so today what I wanted to do is share with you some of the things that I do my focus really is on aging well. That's what I want to do. I want to, getting older is just part of the process, but how you age, of course, is exceptionally different. And this year, I made a concerted effort. That was part of my word for the year, was to focus on the impact that I would have not only on what I do, but also on my own health and my well-being. And it's wonderful to get to this stage, sort of 8 months down the track since making that really powerful commitment to myself, that I can actually see the ramifications of that. So today I'm going to share with you all that. And then at the end of the show, I'm actually going to share with all the products I use. So that'll be good. When we get to the end of the show, I'll actually share with you every single product I use. So I'm not getting paid for any of this. I have couple of multi-level marketing companies that I'm involved in, but I just want to show you the things that I use. So let's get started on what are the 9 big things for me that have made a huge difference in my life, and in fact, looking at where I am at my age, and how much stronger I feel. I think if I mentioned in the pre-show information, 10 years ago, I was not here. 10 years ago, I was very unwell. I had 2 hospitalizations. I had a major surgical procedure. I was diagnosed with adrenal fatigue. I was carrying an extra 10 kilos of what I am now. I couldn't shift it. And it was one kind of night, in this moment of, I don't know, clarity or something, that I went, I'm doing the same thing I did when I was 30 and 40, and clearly that's not working. And so I changed then. That's when I began the process. But as I mentioned, this year was very much about staying really focused on aging well and enjoying life, but aging well. And so that's what I'm going to share with you today. All right, here we go. So first one, step number 1. This is the key. Meditation, visualization, EFT. Those 3 things together, consistently doing them over time, have been extraordinary, especially meditation. And in this time, my meditation practice is 20 minutes a day, depending what time I wake up. Sometimes an hour, because I've woken up at 3:30 for some unknown reason. But doing that inner work, that meditation, has helped me really stay centered. My visualization is very strong. It's adapted and changed over the years, but it's very strong. And of course, EFT goes without saying, that to me, that releasing the burden of unresolved trauma in my life. Not that I had a great deal of trauma, but little t, what we call little t trauma. Releasing the heaviness of self-doubt, the imposter syndrome, overwhelm, stress, anxiety, you name it. EFT has been that magical, wonderful thing for me that I still practice every day. And as I said to somebody yesterday, I tap in the shower all the time, especially when I'm the cold shower, and that tapping really fast. But I tap in the shower if I'm ever going. And in the last couple of weeks, I've been doing a lot of tapping. And in particular, number 2, is tapping on non-judgment and forgiveness. And I really think that that's the key to feeling lighter and stronger, is releasing non-judgment or practicing non-judgment and forgiveness. And I use a method called Ho'oponopono, which I've done a show on before. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. That's the 4-step mantra that I tap a lot with. So I actually use tapping while I'm saying the mantra. And I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. And it's a Hawaiian forgiveness practice where whenever is going on in your life, you recognize that for some reason you have a responsibility or a role in this. So it's forgiving you past, present, and future across space and time, not necessarily in this time, not necessarily in this lifetime. And so practicing all of that, forgiveness, I think, is one of the biggest things. And interestingly enough, as a parent too, when you sort of go through stuff with your kids, recognizing that, I wasn't probably the best teenager to my mother either. So I've done a lot of work around forgiveness around that, and it's really impacted on the relationship I've had with my children. Number 3, release the need to please. That's been huge for me because I think I was a card-carrying member of the People Pleaser Society all my life. Pleasing others. And I look back, especially when I had a career I worked for 10 years. I had a career as in marketing, and I recognized that so much of what I did was to please others, to the detriment of my health. And in fact, I left my career just before this, all this stuff happened with my health, and it was part of it. So it's actually part of it. Just let me know if you are also a card-carrying member of the People Pleaser Association. Once I let go of that, and how I let go of that was with EFT and meditation. That's how I let go of it. And I can tell you, there's such an incredible sense of freedom when you release that need to please, when you release that need to fit in, where you release that need to have people like you. It's just so freeing. And I think age brings that on. I think as we age, you recognize that there's such a waste of time in order to do that. Number 4, now we move to some physical things. Intermittent fasting, without a doubt. Intermittent fasting has been a practice that has changed my focus, my energy. I know it's healing my body, but learning to do it the right way was perhaps the biggest one. And I know many clients that I work with have tried intermittent fasting before and said it didn't work. Well, it's because you're not doing it properly. And there's not a one-size-fits-all model with intermittent fasting all the time. I mean, I practice 16/8, 5 days a week, sometimes 6, but that may not be right for you. So you could use a 12/12 model of circadian rhythm fasting, which is only allowing your body to fast for 12 hours. So it's kind of not, if you finish dinner around 7 o'clock, then no late night snacking, and then you have breakfast around 7. That's the circadian one. Or you can do what I do, is a 16/8, and that simply is skip breakfast. That's it. But it must be done properly. The biggest issue I find for most women when they are practicing intermittent fasting is they don't eat enough in their window, and the types of food they choose. Intermittent fasting must be completed with a protein and a fat. So something with fat in it, something with protein in it, just to keep your energy levels up. And I know a lot of people do things like they'll intermittent fast and then go for something with too much carbohydrate, which impacts on your blood sugar levels and ultimately your hormones. So being able to do intermittent fasting correctly, can I tell you, when I first heard about it, so intermittent fasting, and began intermittent fasting about 5 years ago. When I first heard it, I wasn't having a bar of it because to me it was just another form of restricted eating. And of course, it's not that. So much research. The thing I love about intermittent fasting, most of all, is clarity, my ability to think more clearly, because the body's number one energy resource that our body does is digestion. So, that old model of 3 meals a day and 2 snacks, just that's using up all the energy. I used to wonder why I wanted to have a sleep every afternoon. That's why. Intermittent fasting has been fantastic for me, and I can highly recommend it, especially when it comes to slowing down the aging process, because it really impacts on the hormones in the body and helps to release inflammation, which is just huge. All right, number 5, we're switching from intuitive to conscious eating. And again, I mentioned before with intermittent fasting, in particular, focusing on the right fats and nutrient-dense foods. We have a predication in our world right now to industrial seed oil, such as soybean oil and safflower oil, and I can't think of the other ones just off the top of my head, but lots of the canola oil, that type of thing. Stuff that's our foods are often fried in. If you have takeaway foods, they're often in a lot of processed foods. These oils are in, and research is showing now that those particular oils really impact on anxiety, inflammation, weight gain. Not all oils are created equal. So switching from being very mindful of those types of fats and switching to fats such as coconut oil, olive oil, avocado oil, and avocados and fatty fish. Those are really good for your gut microbiome, but also for your skin. So making sure that you're eating lots of those. And the switch from intuitive to conscious eating, I started practicing intuitive eating in 1984 and had been intuitive eating all the time. But in 2020, everything changed. And I've talked about this before on other shows. You have to understand nutrition. You just have to have a basic understanding of nutrition as you get older. For instance, understanding why you need to swap out certain oils, nutrient-dense foods, intermittent fasting, know how to do that correctly. Intuitive eating, of course, just relies on your body, which is great, but it has to be part of a process, part of a way of eating. And for me, conscious eating is very much about intentional knowing what you want to achieve, whether it's weight loss or aging well or more energy, including intuitive eating, and then informed. So as I mentioned, understanding basics of nutrition, very important, because it helps you make those decisions. And then, of course, introspective, understanding the reasons you reach for certain types of foods, understanding that, and then finally implementation. So you've got to be planned and prepared and slowing down your eating. So I switched from focusing entirely on intuitive eating to, as I aged, I know I needed to have more understanding of nutrition if I was going to age well, and in particular foods that keep inflammation down. And as I mentioned, one of those was seed oils. So understanding that those seed oils, like not all oils are created equal, reducing sugar. For me, understanding my body doesn't particularly cope well with dairy and gluten. And so understanding and accepting all of that was really important for me. All right, number 5. Number 6, sleep. Focus on sleep. This is, I look back on that time when I was when I was 55, in my 50s. I was running on empty all the time. I was working a very high stress job, often 10 to 12 hours a day because of the type of job it was. And then, of course, I've had kids to run to, dance and soccer and touch football and netball and singing and whatever, 3 kids all over the place, as you know. And so I'd be grabbing food in the car. We often wouldn't be eating till late at night, around 8, 8:30, 9 o'clock, and then trying to go to sleep on top of that. And then I'd be up at 5 the next morning, ready to do my exercise and get to work by, 7:30 or 8 o'clock. And I never, to me, because I would wake up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and I couldn't sleep. And I think that's part of menopause anyway. And I didn't really understand that was so detrimental to my health. I just thought at those days, well, if you're tired, you're tired, you do what you do. But it's just not like that. Our sleep is so important, not only for our body, but for our brain in order to recharge and re-energize. So I am really, really focused on getting a good night's sleep now, not having chocolate or sugar before I go to bed, making sure that I'm eating foods with high in tryptophan, so bananas on toast, foods such as kiwi fruit, figs, watermelon's good, any of those types of foods to ensure a good night's sleep. They're not going to impact my blood sugar levels. And I use a sleep mask. So I've got myself a silk sleep mask, which I use because we live in an apartment and it never gets quite dark. A sleep mask has been wonderful. That's one of the things. And I'm going to share some products in a minute with you that are also part of my sleep routine. So looking after sleep, incredibly important as you age. And I think since I've focused on it, it's made such a huge difference. Here's the next one. Dropping the thought that in order to get a good amount of exercise, it had to be an hour long. And that's just not even true. In the Stronger, Leaner, Lighter membership program, we have a 9-minute workout. And that's what I've been doing I fell and broke my foot broke a bone in my foot back in February. And I had to stop my runs to the beach. I used to do a HIIT run, walk to the beach every day, and then come back and do some strength work. And when I broke my foot, I broke a bone in my foot. I really had to change that. And can I tell you, just switching to the 9-minute workout, which is focused on strength, form, posture, and flexibility, my body's totally changed. I have more energy. I'm not as tired. I feel great. And so that exercising and focusing on strength, form, posture, flexibility. Now, why this is such a big deal for me is I was a gym junkie most of my life. I taught aerobics for 15 years. I would do sometimes up to 4 aerobic classes a day, and still do weight training and running. I mean, I was an exercise nut. So for me to move to 9 minutes of exercise in the morning, and a little bit extra, some mornings I'll do 15 minutes if I'm upping the strength at the moment. As I move a little bit older, I want to add more strength. That's been quite a big deal for me, like a really big deal. And to see my body change just doing this 9-minute workout, wow, it's just been extraordinary. So, and as you get older, I think we want to be very careful. A couple of things about over exercising, like doing too much walking, too much of one thing, which impacts on the body. And number 2 is that, too much aerobic work makes you tired. So, we need the energy. We need the energy. Where we go? Number 8. I want to quickly, because I want to move on to these products. Water. Key. Water. I drink about 6 of these bottles a day, which is about 500 mils, I think. Plus, a bit more than 5, maybe 750. Plus, I have at least 3 or 4 cups of herb tea a day. But water is really important for flushing toxins from the body, especially if you're doing intermittent fasting. You need to drink a lot of water. It's also great for your skin, for your eyes, for your hair, and just helps you maintain that clarity. So it's been something that I've had to work on, even though I'm a really thirsty person. It's something I have to work on to remind myself to do. But water, definitely. All right. Now, how are you going? Still with me? Would you like to know the products that have made a huge difference in my life? I'm just going to share those with you now. And I've kind of allocated, I know there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anyway, I'm going to go through the products now. So let me know if you use any of these or if you'd like to. All right, let's start with number 1. Definitely for me, doTERRA essential oils. They have been amazing. Now, when it comes to sleep, this one, lavender piece, has been absolutely brilliant. So what I do with this is I just rub them 2 drops on the temples, and I just sort of breathe in the oil, and then I pop my sleep mask on, and it really does help. I notice a difference when I don't do it. Now, there's a number of other protocols that people have used, but definitely has helped me with sleep. Lemon and ginger, a drop of each of these in the mornings I have with hot water. That's really good for gut health and releasing toxins out of the body. I love these 2 products. I'm just looking at that ginger. I'm nearly out of it again. And the other one I love, Motivate. I love this. It's just the most beautiful citrusy smell. And I have this by my desk. Now, the beauty about this Motivate, the thing I love about essential oils, right? The beauty I love about this Motivate is empty. But it still has the smell. And so if I'm feeling a bit, the middle of the day, I'll go and grab a cup of my cacao and chili tea, which I love, and just breathe in the Motivate, and that really helps. So definitely doTERRA essential oils are brilliant. Now, if you want to know more about it, you want to order some, let me know, and I can set you up with those. Now, there's a new kid on the block for me here, and I was introduced to these products 15 years ago, and I didn't do anything about them. And I had been watching a friend of mine who I met 15 years ago, who introduced me to these products, watching her skin get better and better and better. And I thought, oh my God, I really want to try this. And so I bought two things. There's this New Skin products. If you haven't heard of New Skin, so they've got this age lock little, it's like they call it the wrinkle line. You put some gels, they've got the gels on it, and you just rub that over your face a couple of minutes. I do it like twice a week, I think. I use this. And this other one called Boost, and that's got a little hydrated gel. It's another activating serum. 2 minutes in the morning, one side of your face and the other, and it's like Botox for your skin. It just lifts up, like I noticed that my skin is kind of lifted. They're beautiful products. I just love them. Again, if you're interested in it, I actually have I don't do multi-level marketing very well at all. Terrible at it, actually. But I do have a discount code. So if you're interested in having a look at these, you might want to do multi-level marketing. You might want to as a business. It's not me. So I said to my friend, it's not me. But I do have a discount code if you're interested. So reach out, send me a message, and I can share a little bit more about this. Oh, I love these. Unbelievable. Can I say the difference in my skin since I've been using these has just been extraordinary. All right, next one. Hang on. One. Next one is our sponsors, NAS Cosmetics, Jen Hines, wonderful gal. She created these products. Like, who does that? She created them in her kitchen. They are beautiful. They are natural. They're Australian, and there's no toxins in them. Beautiful, 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 beautiful makeup. And I since I've been using them, I just love them. They sit on top of your skin. Most of the wrinkles. But the good thing that because there's no toxins in it, it's not impacting on my skin. And of course, our skin's the number one organ in our body. I'm not getting anything. So again, shout out to NAS Cosmetics. They are our sponsor for the show. So I'll just find where Jen's link is. I can't find it here, but I'll pop it in the show notes after this. But NAS Cosmetics, check them out. They're great. All right. That's those ones. Now, I talked before about eating well and ensuring that when you are doing your fast, that you're ending on a protein. I love this. This is NutraOrganics. Turn around. NutraOrganics proteins. I love them. I've tried a lot of protein powders, and some of them are, they taste terrible. This is beautiful. It's got pea protein and sprouted brown rice protein. Beautiful. We have this. I have this. I make my own almond milk. We tried it yesterday with oat milk. We bought some oat milk, which is really nice. 2 tablespoons of this, a banana, ice. That's my breakfast. That's the breaking of the fast. That's the breaking of the fast. So that's get it from the health food store. It's really lovely. I really enjoy that. Next one, the last one, I think. Oh, yeah. The last one is this NutriVital Beauty Collagen. Now, Jerry and I are pescatarians. We don't eat meat. So a lot of the there's some fantastic collagens out there, really good collagens, but a lot of them are beef collagen, made from beef. We choose not to have it. So I found this one, which I really like. It's a marine collagen. It's really well priced. Again, I get it from can't see it because it's the NutriVital Beauty Collagen. Absolutely brilliant. Just love it. And I said get it from the health food store. And I really, really love them. So they're the products that I use. Let's have a look. Okay. And I wanted just to let you know also, as we finish up, if you I have a YouTube channel that I'm uploading videos to, lots of tapping videos, but I've also done a whole series on how to release visceral belly fat. And a lot of it is about these products, in particular, EFT, how to release belly fat using EFT, using intermittent fasting, collagen, drinking lots of water, all that stuff. So if you want to check that out, that's my YouTube How to Release Belly Fat series there. And that's what I do. So as I catapult into this next part of my life, 65 tomorrow, thank you for joining me, and I hope this has helped. I hope there's some tips you can take away to help you age well. And thank you so much for being a part of my Stronger, Leaner, Lighter journey and in doing what I do in supporting others as well. Let me know if you have any questions about any of the products. I'm happy to share with you. As I mentioned, I do have I'm signed up to these and doTERRA. The other ones I mentioned, and Nest Cosmetics is a sponsor, but the others I mentioned, they're just available in the store. I want to share those with you. All right. Have a wonderful day, everybody, and I shall see you next week with a special guest on the Stronger, Leaner, Lighter show. Bye for now.